Hi everyone, Harry here to give you the skinny on yesterday's hearing in the Mar A Lago case. So this was basically, this in any other court would have been months and months ago, but this is Trump's Fourth Amendment claim. Remember, actually, he had a sort of trial run, you could say, at this in front of Judge Cannon at the time of the search, 6 months before the indictment, when she went upriver on appointment of a special monitor and review for executive privilege and all those kinds of things. And the argument was, and it was accurate, and the 11th Circuit said so, this is just a garden variety search warrant challenge that you have somehow made into this huge proceeding, and you've given Trump the ability to get all this information reversed. So now this has sat around the typical Fourth Amendment claim. And yes, the indications as it's being portrayed in the press is she seemed inclined not to grant anything about the Fourth Amendment claim. Fourth Amendment claim would, in effect, throw out all the evidence, be the end of the case, and I think be the end of her stewardship of the case, because there's really no solid Fourth Amendment claim. So a dismissal would go on immediate appeal, and as I see it, and I think this is now clear based on recent reporting, which I just had an op-ed about in the LA Times, that she rebuffed efforts to get her off the case. I think the community down in Mar A Lago, to include the 11th Circuit, sees her as an embarrassment, a black eye for the whole district and circuit, and they would, I think, welcome an excuse to bounce her from the case. And a very big one would be if she somehow excluded all the evidence because everything was done by the book. Okay, so there were two specific issues in play. One was the so-called particularity of the warrant, and that's a constitutional requirement. Fourth Amendment, you have to describe with particularity what you're searching for, and they were very, very careful, and it was upheld, of course, by the highly respected magistrate, who nevertheless Cannon doesn't seem to like to work with. But just it's a very detailed warrant that goes through everything. And remember, by the time they're searching, they have all this information, including from an insider, or if not more, about the specific kinds of materials they're looking for, and that Trump has directed Walt Nauta to move around. So they identify it with real clarity. So she says in court, I think it is particular enough. The other claim that she heard yesterday had to do with spoliation, and the argument that because the materials that they gathered in the search were kept box by box integrity. We talked about this yesterday. So everything that was in box X when they took it remained there. Trump is attempting to make a big stink about the U.S.'s inability to guarantee that it's all in exactly that order, because they confronted a mess with things strewn around everywhere, and they packed up the boxes, but can't, attest that page 1 was on top of page 2, was on top of page 3. And why should that matter? There isn't a reason. Remember, by the way, this is evidence that originates with Trump. So he's trying to jam this into the category of you somehow suppressed evidence. The cases he talks about involve not just suppression of evidence, but suppression of exculpatory evidence. So that's really, doesn't get out of the box here. The sort of drama was whether Cannon would attempt to try to ferret out information improperly about what exactly had happened in the search, or order up some evidence to be taken. She did not do that. So it looks as if that Fourth Amendment claim should be denied and without much controversy. Now, of course, when? Who the heck knows? Because she took it under submission, as she always does. She did indicate that she's going to rule against the government, and that's better than other hearings. But it's also consistent with a ruling in the year 2049, or we just don't know when it's going to be. She's taken the trial actually off calendar, and it seems to me and most it's already the case that even were she to issue a ruling tomorrow and the DOJ immediately appeal and the 11th Circuit immediately reverse and immediately recuse her, there's probably not time for a new judge to get up to speed to have this trial, which, as I've said before, is the most cut and dried. He's guilty as sin, and there's no kind of sort of confusion or mixing of, it's political speech, he's acting like a president. No, he's acting like a common criminal, basically just stealing all of the property of the U.S. government and very sensitive classified defense information at that. So it's a very strong case. It can almost not even see what a defense would be. You may recall he said things about having magically declassified materials that's A, false on the facts, B, impossible on the law. I mean, this is a case that really is all but tied up and with a bow and ribbon. But it seems quite clear that we're not going to see it before the election. Nevertheless, what we also won't be seeing is a dismissal on Cannon's part based on the Fourth Amendment challenges that those after yesterday look like they will come out in the right way under the law. But as always, the question is when. Now, Cannon, as she seems to like to do, did box the ears some of the government attorneys, but she did the same with Trump's attorney here, so it was noteworthy. She told Emile Beauvais stay on topic when he strayed into, as is, in very kind of consistent form for how they're trying the case, allegations about bad faith of the motives of the investigators, and then likewise her sort of favorite target for the government and the special counsel staff, a man named Harbach. He accused Beauvais of attempts to hijack the hearing, and then she came down on him. There's no hijacking, hearing's about to end, etc. So she was tart and sharp with both sides, and including the government, which really was had the benefit of completely solid, unassailable arguments as opposed to the defense. But that's not a factor that tends to keep her from upbraiding them anyway when she gets the chance. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video and other Talking Feds content, please take a second to like and subscribe. Talk to you later.